You don't know pain till you've tasted blood and sidewalk at the same time, till your bones tell you in their own language that mercy is something folks just talk about, not something that happens for real, especially when you're old, black, and handing out pie for free. But let me just get right to it, because this ain't one of those sweet church stories. I'm not starting with grace. I'm starting with the moment my face met concrete, and everything I thought I knew about community, kindness, or justice just cracked. So every Tuesday, no matter how bad my hip acts up or how swollen my knuckles get, I drag my old folding table and my pies down to the corner of 145th and Plymouth, right outside St. James Baptist. This isn't a business. There's no cash box, no signs, no for sale nonsense. It's just me, some battered Tupperware, maybe a thermos of sweet tea, and enough heart to try to convince this block that hope's still a thing. I got apple, pumpkin, and peach most days, real pie, the kind with crust you gotta fight for, with a recipe older than any of the cops who think I'm a problem. You walk up, I feed you. Don't matter if you look like you haven't showered since Christmas, or if you're dragging a baby in a carrier with formula stains. If you're breathing, you get pie. That's the rule. That's dignity. Jarvis was the first to show up that morning, Vietnam vet, couple fingers missing, skin the color of midnight, and eyes like he saw everything twice. He hugged me tight, like folks do when the world's been hell, but you're still here. You saving my life again, Mama S., he said, half grinning. But peace don't last long on this block. You know that, right? Yeah, I knew. Especially when your skin's got more melanin than the city code prefers. You see, hope can get you killed around here. I laugh, but it's dry. And then, you know how you just feel it when something's about to go wrong? Patrol car rolls up like thunder on a blue sky day. 2 officers, one young, eyes darting, eager to prove he matters. The other older, tired, maybe even sorry, but way past the point of caring. The young one, Crow, I'll never forget that name, starts barking. What's this? You selling food without a permit. Like I'm out here pushing dope to babies instead of pie to old men. I tell him, calm, as slow and polite as you talk to someone with a gun, sir, I'm not selling, I'm serving. Pastor Hughes and Councilman Mendez both signed off. But that ain't the answer he wants. He's looking for trouble. Wants to make a scene. Show me documentation, he snaps. So I reach for my purse, careful as you please, and that's when everything goes sideways. He grabs my arm, yanks it, hard. I don't even get a second to explain. Suddenly my cheeks on the sidewalk, pies scattered like somebody threw confetti at a funeral, and I taste metal and dirt at the same time. Tea splashes, burning my hands, and I hear gasps. One woman shouts, someone's recording, and before I can even get my bearings, I feel his knee dig into my back. Stop resisting. He spits like I'm a linebacker, not a grandma with a bum hip. All I can do is whisper, I need to call my son. But he just hits me with the classic, you have the right to remain silent, like this is some episode he's practiced in the mirror, proud of himself for being the big man. Let me tell you, Jarvis, the man who stared down napalm, he looks more shook up now than I bet he did in Nam. It's a pie table, not a drug bust, fool, he mutters, his hands shaking, eyes darting between me and the cop like he's ready to jump but too scared to die on this block. And now the whole crowd's recording, screens glowing, somebody yells, that's Mama Esther. That's me, shelter cook, church widow, just out here trying to give folks something more. But none of that matters to Crow. To him, I'm just a problem to solve. I reach up, just a little, and Jarvis, bless him, slips my old flip phone into my palm. There's only one number that matters. Son, it's Mama. I'm down at St. James. Yes, they did it again. My voice doesn't even shake. I hang up, and I wait. It takes maybe 5 minutes. But when the black SUV pulls up, everything changes. Air gets heavy. Folks stop talking, even the ones filming. My son steps out, no uniform, just jeans, boots, and that walk that says he knows exactly who he is and how fast he can end a fight. He kneels beside me gentle, but his jaw's tight, eyes colder than any night I've ever seen. Mama, they touch your face? I nod, barely. He stands, turns to the cops. Which one of you did it? Dead silence. Even the old cop steps back. My son pulls a badge, and this ain't no police badge. Military, high tier. Letters say Delta Force. Those words land heavy, even if you don't know what they mean. Officers Crow and Mathis, Unit 211. You're both under arrest. Title 18, Section 242 and 245, assault on an elder under color of law. The kid blinks, tries to argue. You don't have jurisdiction. But my son just looks at him, cold, steady, unbothered. You want to test that? Be my guest. He cuffs them, using their own handcuffs. And the crowd? Oh. They erupt, cheering, clapping, like the world finally made sense. The ambulance comes, and this time, they treat me like I matter, gentle hands, soft voices. I catch Jarvis's eye, he salutes, all proud. I look back from the stretcher and see my son standing between the crowd and those two cops, not yelling, not gloating, just watching, like justice isn't loud, it's just a fact. For a moment, the whole block is silent. That kind of silence that only comes when people realize something big just happened, bigger than pie, bigger than pride. Now, if you're waiting for the storybook ending, everybody hugging, cops learning their lesson, City Hall writing apologies, well, life doesn't work like that. There was fallout, sure. Investigations, news trucks, half the city trying to figure out if I was some kind of secret hero or just another old lady who got in the way. My son? He's back overseas. That's the life. Me? My table's got dents, and my hip still aches, but come Tuesday, you'll find me back on that same corner, pies in tow, because dignity doesn't disappear just because somebody tried to break you. But here's the part folks argue about. Was it right, what my son did? Was it justice or just revenge in a shiny badge? Maybe both. Maybe neither. All I know is, I'm still breathing, and if you ever find yourself on the wrong end of somebody's protocol, I hope you got a Jarvis or a son like mine. Now tell me, what would you have done if you were on that block? Drop your thoughts, right, wrong, justice, or just another day in America. Because sometimes, the only way we get anywhere is by talking about the parts that hurt.